What's up? Welcome back to West Seattle. We got a good one today because today we're going to take a look at the brand new Concept from Storm. Super simple design. I like that. I like simple looking, solid looking, minimalist designs on bowling balls. There's the logo. There is no other logo. Out on the lanes, house shot. What is this? Well, in short, this is sort of like that next step in evolution when you're thinking about a urethane type of ball. We'll get into all that. I have no idea what this is gonna do. Maybe some idea, but totally fresh off the press. So let's see what we got. Didn't roll half bad for a first shot, not knowing where to even stand with that thing. I kind of just stood where I would normally stand, normal house shot, and actually square up two right, two more outside, and let's see what that does. All right, so therein lies kind of that boundary for me. I think we're lined up now. Split the difference. One right of the first shot, one left of the second. So what the heck is the Concept? It is not a urethane ball. There's a lot of buzz about what this is and what it's going to do, but the reason why this came out now is because the bowling industry is going through a big change. It's been happening for a little while now. A lot of new rules and restrictions surrounding what you can do with urethane when. So this is sort of projecting out into the future where the bowling industry might be going. So it's got some of the control and predictability of urethane, but it doesn't break any rules. So that's good. But you know what else this doesn't do? Is it doesn't come with any urethane stigma that you probably see either around you, or maybe you yourself are a urethane player in your house shot league. You know those eye rolls from your teammates or the opposing team. You're messing up our lane, you're messing up the oil pattern. Well, this doesn't do that now. We're gonna find out exactly what it does do. This is the worst slide in bowling history. Almost ate it out there, but the roll is nice, controlled, smooth. I'm not immediately thinking urethane yet. We're gonna see how this starts to break in though. Why does this roll smooth, controllable, predictable? Why does it kind of remind one of urethane? Most of that is to do with this cover. This cover is completely brand new. Has not been on any other Storm bowling ball. And it is the strongest cover Storm has ever made by a mile. So I'm not sliding. Let me fix the approach and I'll get right back with you. All right, so I guess even if you are falling on your face at the foul line, this ball seems to strike just fine. I like bowling balls that do that. This one is already making me smile. But how can the strongest cover Storm has ever made have a reaction that's so smooth and tame down lane? The answer is, think of bowling ball reaction, think of bowling ball strength, not in terms of how many boards it covers side to side. Start thinking of it front to back. How early is it reading? Bowling balls can't do anything unless they slow down. Bowling balls can't do anything unless there's some friction. This ball has a cover that gets it to slow down extremely early. I'm not seeing it get offline early. Why is that? I think I'm gonna like this one. That was way more inside. You saw that strong cover, not getting that ball offline too early, stayed in that oil, controlled into the pocket, carried just fine, no weak blower corner pin. It's that weight block inside. This weight block is very high RG and very low diff. So that means that it's not getting into a spin very fast, and the amount of spin that it does have is not very violent. The ball doesn't flare a whole lot. So it's cover heavy, and the core kind of gets out of the way. All right, so got that one out as opposed to the one right before it, where I got that one super in. Got it back to the pocket fine. I was actually surprised for a urethane type of shape. Got it back no problem, but it's not jumpy. It's not erratic, it's not unpredictable. Let's throw one more and then we'll break down kind of what I'm seeing. Okay, so initial thoughts. It does do the urethane type of thing. It is not gonna have any sharp change of direction down lane. I know because this is the strongest cover Storm has ever made that it is definitely prioritizing how early it reads. So there's two urethane-like qualities, how early it reads and not jumpy down lane. This weaker core doesn't have a flare a whole lot, also typical of a lot of urethane balls that you may know. We're gonna take a look at one in just a second. But as you can see, I'm standing a lot more inside, a lot deeper, a lot more left than I probably ever would with a urethane ball on the house shot. We're gonna find out in just a second. This ball isn't urethane, but it kind of gives all the safe qualities of urethane. This one is really, really good. I'm starting to kind of see how it can fit in to a wide variety of bowling styles, bowling centers, oil pattern situations, but we'll unpack that in just a second. Let's take a look at an actual urethane ball. Everyone knows this one. This is the pitch black. I'm sure there's 500 grit smeared on here somewhere. A lot of times urethane balls need a shot or two to kind of break in. Sometimes they hook a mile the first shot or two and then they tame out. Let's find out what this does. That was pretty forward off my hand. Not sure why that tracked over the thumb like that. Yeah, so you can see there, the urethane ball, it's got some similar things to what's going on here. It's reading early. It's definitely not jumpy down lane. It's flaring about this much. It's not as dynamic down lane. Probably got to move a fair bit right. Let's move 3 right off of that last shot. I'm not sure that was some dirty dog action. That's more Alan Mark action, I think. All right, get out of here, Alan. Alan's my guy. Alan's our guy. Alan Mark is the community West Seattle Bowl guy. He's just that guy. I don't know what I'm saying right now. What I'm saying is I'm gonna move further right. I still think this might be a little weak. So, urethane, especially if you don't wipe it off, keeps that oil on it. It doesn't go anywhere. It certainly doesn't go into the ball. Now your teammates might say to you, friend, the oil is going somewhere. It's going further down lane because you are destroying our beautiful, tasty house shot. So, if you don't want to deal with all the crap talking they've given you, maybe you need something that kind of does the thing that urethane does, but doesn't do the thing that nobody likes seeing urethane do, whatever that means. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna throw one more shot, moving another 3 or 4 right, and just get out of this one. All right, so those of you at home can do the math. How many boards did I say I moved? 3 or 4 plus 3 plus 2 or 3, I don't know, it's a lot of boards. A couple arrows. So I was here, I ended up way over here, but that's urethane. It requires you, needs you, begs of you to play on the friction. because it certainly isn't absorbing any oil. The cover in of itself is reading early, but the oil just sits on the top, hydroplanes, and needs some friction. Now, whether you find that friction on the outside of the lane, or you find that friction down lane because it's a shorter pattern, urethane's needing one of those two. That is never a ball I would use on at least our house shot, probably any house shot. It's got its time and its place though. This one seems a lot more user-friendly, a lot more situation-friendly. So then, by comparison, let's go to where about I was with that, and I actually don't know what this is gonna do. Let's find out. Okay, I guess that was my prediction, is that it would see the friction and hook more. Now, it wasn't a sharp change of direction down lane by any means. It was still round and archy, which is apropos because the name of this cover stock is the Arc cover stock. It's very round. That's just not where I would play with this on this right now with who I'm bowling with that's just me, so. All right, so let's move back to where this ball probably wants to play. Again, I can play a lot more right with this ball because it's gonna be smooth and controllable, which is nice. But at least for how this one is drilled, which is kind of like my medium benchmarky symmetrical layout. It's about a 4 3/4 inch pin. This one has some energy, it's just not sharp. I like that. I don't like bowling balls that are super sharp and erratic down lane. So then why have a ball like this when you can just use your regular benchmark ball? Well, here's a couple of situations. We talked about that urethane thing. Maybe you're a player that just likes using urethane. You like that urethane quality, that urethane shape, that urethane idea, that urethane line to the pocket. But you get the eye rolls from your teammates and beyond, okay? Something like this covers you, but why else? I've used other things to kind of have to approximate that urethane shape. Short pin bowling balls, I've done short pin IQ Tours, I've done short pin Ion Pro Solids, I've done short pin Cosmos. All of those work really, really well until they don't. No matter how stable a short pin ball can be off your hand, they can sometimes still be a little too much, a little too quick of a change of direction down lane. Again, they're good until they're not. That was an across the deck messenger with a urethane-like motion. Come back out here, Alan Mark. All right, you're done. There is no chance I could make that happen with a pitch black, a 78U, unless my name was EJ Tackett or Belmo, Simo, someone that can just spank it. The last thing I can kind of think of is sometimes you want to control the back end with a lot of early, so like some big strong ASIM ball. But you might be a player where that gets offline too early. It's just too much. Had there been a 10 pin there, that messenger was coming for it anyway. It's working overtime. But yeah, those strong ASIM balls, they can actually blend out short patterns or erratic changes of direction down lane really well, until they can't. You might bowl at an older center, a lot of age and wear, friction in the lanes. You might bowl at a center that doesn't put out a lot of oil. Even on that fresh house shot for you, things are just flying down lane ball-wise. This will control all of that for you. You can maybe even start with a ball like this. I mean, again, I'm starting around my normal house shot spot. This ball has no problem getting to the pocket, but in a really, really safe way. Yep. Oh, that's what happens when you try to call your own shot. Never works out. Again, that was a urethane type of shot and a high 4-pin. All right, so let's move all the way inside just for the sake of taking a peek. It's gonna require a lot of fresh cover, and this ball has that because there is the smallest logo ever. There's no excuses. You're not gonna roll over any engraving. Strongest cover Storm has ever had, and you're going to use all of it. So, I'm up against the ball return. Let's find out. Well, I mean, we knew together, right, that going into that shot, that's not where I should be standing. It got there. It somehow love tapped the 7 out. What does that mean? It means there's some good stuff in this bowling ball. But yeah, so I'm already starting to see just how good this ball is, and can imagine the several use case scenarios that I'm gonna find using the concept. Last month, did a seminar with Hank Boomershine, and he was talking quite a bit about the tech that goes into this ball, the use cases for when this ball is needed. I absolutely see it. So I can't wait to bring this out of my 6-ball bag, find out for myself. So far, so good. I can see that the mica additive in this cover stock, it's really gripping the lane, and this is the fastest oil absorbing cover Storm has ever made. So those work really well together. It doesn't get any better than a strike like that, right? So the concept from Storm, this one gets an A+ from me. Kind of already knew that I was gonna like it a lot. Now I'm seeing just how much I am gonna like it. The lanes here at West Seattle Bowl are probably gonna see a lot of this ball from me going down the lane. But that's all I got. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.